Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video I'm going to compare Tazarotene against Tretinoin. This is another member of the retinoid family that's less well known and less well used, but it is stronger than Tretinoin. Sometimes we get asked about it in the clinic, and I know there have been questions in the comments about it as well. So before we get started, if you're new to this channel, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back and thank you for your support. So let's dive in. What is Tazarotene? Tazarotene is a retinoid, so it belongs to the family or the retinol family. So that this includes good old retinol, retinol palmitate. It includes retinol esters. It includes retinaldehyde, and of course adapalene or different in terms of the brand name, and tretinoin, and then Tazarotene. Most people probably haven't heard of Tazarotene because it's not very well used, but it is in that retinoid family, and it is the step above Tretinoin. So what's the difference between them? Well, it's a third generation retinoid, and Tretinoin is a first generation retinoid. So it's the OG, and Tretinoin has decades of research backing it and decades of use and safety studies, and we know quite a lot about Tretinoin because it's been around for so long. Tazarotene is third generation, so before Tazarotene, adapalene was discovered, and that is weaker than Tretinoin, but it's really good for people who can't tolerate Tretinoin but need something stronger than an over-the-counter retinol. So it's better. It may be better sometimes with more sensitive skin. And then you've got Tazarotene, which is the third generation retinoid, and so that's a newer product, a newer compound. And we do know, it has been, it has a good amount of studies that show its safety and its effectiveness when used appropriately. And it is available as a licensed product for things like inflammatory acne and psoriasis. So how else does it differ? Like I mentioned, it's stronger than Tretinoin, which a lot of people assume stronger means better, and that's not the case most of the time. So Tretinoin is plenty strong for the vast majority of people, and in fact Tretinoin comes in a wide range of strengths, so all the way from 0.01% or even less, all the way up to Tretinoin 0.1%. And to give you an idea, 0.1% Tretinoin is 20 times stronger than the strongest over-the-counter retinol, so that's a lot. And with Tretinoin, we often use it for things like acne, hyperpigmentation, sun damage, and even skin aging. Tazarotene has, those are the most common uses, and there are other ones. Tazarotene is similarly useful for things like acne, for even sun damage and skin aging and hyperpigmentation. And both Tretinoin and Tazarotene obviously have similar side effects. So you've got the dryness, irritation, peeling, and redness, and all of those things. They can happen with both of them. But because Tazarotene is stronger than Tretinoin, these side effects are at a higher risk of happening, and they may be more severe. And that's why Tazarotene is not used as often as Tretinoin. It's for this big reason, that it actually, for a lot of people, most people wouldn't tolerate Tazarotene. Even if they're stepping up to it from Tretinoin, they wouldn't tolerate it regularly enough to be able to use it without any problems. And here's the thing, with most skincare, prescription or otherwise, it's consistency and it's how regularly you're able to use it that makes the difference versus the strength by itself. A strong product that you can't tolerate often is not as useful as a less strong product that you can use regularly to get the most out of it. And so with Tazarotene, the big barrier to it being used more often is because it can be so irritating, and as such it tends to be reserved for a few cases. And another thing with Tazarotene is, whereas Tretinoin is available in a wide variety of strength, and it's available both in compounded and also off-the-shelf kind of branded formulations. It's widely used. Tazarotene, there are 2 licensed forms, and they are in 2 strengths, so 0.05% and 0.1%. There's not as much room to kind of move. And as such, Tazarotene tends to be used in cases of, for example, severe inflammatory acne, where things like tretinoin and other treatments haven't worked, and so it's reserved for that, where the risk of irritation is offset by the fact that there isn't really a better alternative for that patient. And the same for things like severe sun damage, where perhaps tretinoin has been used for a while, most likely with other products, and maybe hasn't achieved the effects. But even then, to be honest, sun damage and hyperpigmentation, tretinoin and in combination with pigment suppressors tends to provide a better outcome. But that's something else. Tazarotene does tend to be used a bit more in psoriasis, and there is a good case for it there. And so that's where you might find most of it being used. It's not very often used for skin aging because, again, the risk of irritation that can then cause skin barrier damage limits its usefulness. But that is another potential in people perhaps who have been using tretinoin at highest strength for a long time and perhaps need to move up. And so that's kind of the key thing, the key takeaway. Tazarotene is stronger, but it is less widely used because of the side effects. It has got good uses for things like psoriasis and very severe inflammatory acne that hasn't really responded perhaps to tretinoin or other things. And it also has some other uses in people who've been on tretinoin for a long time and perhaps need an upgrade, but that's less common. It's less widely available. It's available in fewer strengths, and whilst it has a good amount of science and studies showing that it's effective and safe, we don't have the same long-term record of safety and effectiveness that we do with tretinoin, which is backed by decades of research and reports. So I hope you found this useful. I've linked to an article in the description that I've written on Tazarotene that compares it with tretinoin in more detail. If you have any questions about Tazarotene or tretinoin or anything else, please leave a comment below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Until next time, stay beautiful.